Hey YouTube, long time seller here on my journey from eBay to WhatNot, and I'm kind of migrating and moving some of my inventory that's been sitting in eBay for a long time that has not really moving. And I've been doing some WhatNot shows, and I've learned a few things as I'm going along, and I've had 5 or 6 shows now, and I want to cover what I've learned and the growth. And I've been testing products, so these first 2 weeks that I've done these shows, I've sold things, I made money, and I've enjoyed it. Actually, I like doing the live shows, the live stream like that, interacting with people because eBay is so impersonal, and Whatnot is a little more personal. Now, granted, you may not see the person face to face, but you can see the chat and you get to interact with them live stream, and it's a much better. I think I like it as a selling platform. I think I enjoy it more. So anyway, what I want to cover is this is my journey, and I'm kind of migrating away from eBay and towards Whatnot. And I don't know how much of a balance that will be at the end. Right now, I have a little over 10,000 items because I've been pulling items from eBay and putting them on Whatnot. And my this is my you can see on the screen here. These are my sales metrics here from the few little there's 2 weeks here of the experimental Whatnot show here. And you see, I've already made $724 is what I've earned on these shows here. And you'll see a couple of these are real small. This is a Monday one. Uh, this is a Friday one. That was a Saturday. There's another Friday that goes back. I guess if I edit the dates here, let me see here. See how far back I went here. Okay, these are all my shows here. This was my first show. It was 23 minutes long, and I made $150, and it was like, wow. And I stand corrected because I forgot to add the first show. I've got $873 in sales here on these first 2 weeks of experimenting with Whatnot. And I'm experimenting. My experiment is what items do I have are going to sell best on Whatnot and what days of the week? Because I have found that it's not just days of the week, but it's time of day too for the product that you're selling. And so, if you're going to get started on Whatnot and you're going to be a new seller, you may want to experiment for a little while and see what days work best for you due to your schedule, your customer schedule, and the items that you sell. And that's something I've been working on. And I've noticed that because of the items that I sell, Fridays and Saturdays are absolutely waste of time for me. And this is for me. It does well for other people. It may do well for you. So take you need to experiment and find the times that are best for the items that you're selling. Okay. Now I sell a myriad of items. I've been selling some brand new pocket knives and men's uh, clothing, shirts and hats and stuff. And I'm going to do some camouflage hunting gear on the next one. And I'm doing women's cosmetics, and I did some women's clothing. Now, my women's clothing, it didn't do too well, but I did that on a Friday. And I did a t shirt and hat show on a Friday and had zero sales. I mean, nothing. I did a show for 2 hours on a Friday night selling vintage t shirts and hats and had zero sales for 2 hours. So I got to thinking, what can I do? And this is the experiment. When you're new on this, you need to experiment and see what works best for you. So I took those same exact items, ran another show on Monday, and the Monday show would be, hmm, I believe it was this show right here. I did it on a Thursday. Excuse me. I did it on a Thursday night. I tried it on Friday, nothing. I took those exact same items, reran them on a Thursday, and sold $178 of the exact same stuff. So this is part of that experiment where I'm telling you, sometimes you may have an item that doesn't sell on one day, on one show, doesn't mean at another day, another time, those same exact items will sell. So you need to experiment. And this is what I've been experimenting with because this is a new selling platform for me. I've been an eBay seller for over 6 years now. I started back in 2018, and I sell over $250,000 a year. But I'm I'm tiring of eBay, and I think some other people are tiring of eBay. Now, I'm not saying eBay's dead, and I'm not saying eBay's not a good selling platform. It's changing, and I believe the average buyer on eBay is older, like my age. I'm and younger. I'm saying maybe 40 to 60. I think that's the age that's on eBay. I believe on WhatNot it's closer to 20 to 40. And so I think it's just a different demographic. So different things are going to sell. So if you're selling glassware and collectibles, vintage collectibles, that's glassware, trinkets, tchotchkes, I don't think that they would sell well on Whatnot. They might. I mean, that was something you would have to, if that's what you sell, you would have to experiment with. I believe eBay's a better platform for that. And so this is something I think Whatnot is a good platform. It's a fun platform. It's an entertaining platform. It's an engaging platform, and there are a lot of customers on there. But as a seller, you need to find the right items, the right time. So what are you selling, and what time of day are your customers there? And I found with Whatnot, the times makes a difference because I believe a lot of shoppers shop from Whatnot on their phones while they're at work. I firmly believe they have another screen going, especially office workers. And they're doing this on their lunch break, and they're going in there and they're doing these buying these auctions and stuff. Where I believe on Friday and Saturday nights, the majority of the younger, that 20 to 40 age that I feel like is on Whatnot, are out and about on Friday and Saturday nights, out with their friends and their young families and things like that. So as a seller, I believe both platforms are good. I'm not trying to say one's better than the other. I'm just saying it's if you've got a big extensive eBay store and you want to streamline it and you want to make it more efficient, some of the things you have in eBay may move really, really well on Whatnot and vice versa. So that's something you're going to need to play around with and find that right niche for you. It's just like when you started selling on eBay, you had to find that niche for you that suited you and did the best for you. Well, it's the same thing with Whatnot. And I'm glad those of you that are following me, you're getting to see my journey into Whatnot and my learning experience and my growth as I'm going along. And so you can maybe learn from some of my mistakes or take a few little of these tidbits and create your own great Whatnot show. And let me tell you something, if you're not camera shy and you like talking to people and you like interacting with people and you can multitask, dude, let me tell you something, man. Go to Whatnot. It's actually fun. I find it fun and engaging, and it's nice to sit there and chat with people. Like here I am. I'm talking to the camera on YouTube to push this on selling on eBay and Whatnot and sharing my journey. But I'm not getting to interact with anybody right now. It's just me and this camera and the computer screen, right? With Whatnot, it's live, and I'm holding the item up and I'm talking with somebody, and somebody can say, "Hey, what about that item behind you?" Or "What about this?" And you can say, "Hey, let me pull that up next." And I mean, it's a fun experience as for selling, and it's a different experience than eBay. And now, if you're shy and you're not an extrovert, if you're really introverted, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. That's just different people types. eBay and Macari and Poshmark is probably a better platform for you. But if you like engaging and entertaining people and meeting people and uh, sharing and interacting, then by all means do some Whatnot as well. And there's nothing wrong with doing two platforms, especially if you're an established eBay seller. Take some of that stuff that's not moving on eBay and put it over there on Whatnot and see what you have in inventory that can move over there. So anyway, this is my second week. I'm fixed to start my third week. I have a show coming up Wednesday tomorrow. My name on there is Cool Swag, KOOL Swag. Uh, Find me on there. I'm already up to 121 followers. in 2 weeks, and I did this without no advertising, spending no money to do this, just by giving a good product at a good price. And that's one thing I learned on starting out on Whatnot is I've priced my stuff cheap and maybe at a break even point, or I mean, I am earning money because this is inventory that's all paid for, but I'm selling it at a lot less than I normally would, but I'm bringing customers in and followers in so that as I grow and once I get bigger, I will be able to bring my prices back up to the norm to where uh, the average item cost or item is being sold. And the more people you get in your shows, the more competition there is for items. And that's what's nice about Whatnot is you'll get people bidding. It's like an auction on eBay, but the auction happens in 30 seconds. It doesn't happen in 5 or 7 days. And people got to bid and wait forever. And somebody outbids it, and you got to bid again. And it's just a long, drawn out, boring ass process on eBay. Whatnot, the auction is bang, bang, bang. You can set it for 15 to 30 seconds, excuse me, or a little longer. And it's fun watching people bang, 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 bang. And you can interact while people are bidding. Say, hey, such and such just bid. Hey, what about you? You wanted this too. And then the other person pops in. All right, he took it back from you. You're going to let him get away with that? And just that interaction. And so if you like that interaction, you like uh, chatting and sharing with people. And let me tell you something, man. The customers that I've had my experience with customers on there, man. I mean, 99% of them are just, man. They're really super nice and polite. I do get that 1% that I've noticed that pop in, and I will notice people that will pop in an auction and they try to take control of that auction. They try to ask you, hey, what about this? You got any of this? You got any of this? Like they want you to change your whole format to suit them. And personally, I don't cater to somebody that just popped in the show and wants me to change my format for them when I've got 20 other customers on there looking at the items that I've already got up. So that's something to watch out for, and that's just something you learn and you grow with. And like I say, each person's show is going to be different. It's tailored for you, just like you tailor your eBay store for you, your own niche, your own style, your own pricing. It's the same thing with Whatnot, but it's a fun experience. So for my second week. Actually, this is my going into my third week on Whatnot. I'm actually enjoying it, and my sales are pretty good. You can see after 2 weeks, 873 sales on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shows, and I started with 0 followers. So I think almost $900 on 7 shows. Now, granted, I've probably got, let's say, I've got 15 hours into that, maybe 20 hours. So maybe I'm making like $30 an hour on this, but I'm starting out and I'm building that customer base where I firmly believe that $30 an hour is going to go back up to 100, 150, maybe 200 an hour. So, okay. Well, hey, I thank everybody that watches this, and this is just me sharing my journey and my foray into Whatnot. And I hope that any of you other sellers out there, or even of you just starting out, that you can use some of this information to further yourself. And it's getting close to Christmas. We're just a couple of weeks now, a couple of weeks away now, and I wish everybody the greatest end of the year that you can ever have. All righty. Say, well, everybody have a great day, and good luck selling.